What's up?
What's up?
What's up? How's it going, guys? It's Sam. We are joined today by none other than our great friend, Jeremy Hiebert of Comeback Kid. There we go. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here, man. We were just chatting about these lovely things that
Sexy beasts
that you encouraged us to make. I will say we've had a lot of questions about these, and we built them first for Comeback Kid at Jeremy's request, and they sound friggin' huge.
Yeah, no, these have been, I don't know, something that I've really wanted to have on stage for a long time. I used to run with the Mesa 412 and then a 212, and it's just,
Yeah.
it's cool,
Yeah.
but just one solid unit, it looks sick.
It looks sick.
And it sounds sick.
It sounds huge.
Yeah.
We were just saying, like, there was a while where it was like modelers or like combos, but I feel like big amps are like cool again now. So
They better be. Like,
Yeah.
there's something cool about having like nothing on the stage at all, but
yeah.
that's not me.
No,
That's
definitely.
other bands. I want lots on the stage. If we were rich and could afford a lot of, what do you call them, stage hands?
Yeah.
Then maybe 2 or 3 of those.
Why not
side.
lug them yourself? Yeah, exactly. And we initially built them for, I guess, the North American run, but you guys are heading out on a Euro run, so we're going to build some. Tell us a little bit about that tour.
Yeah, Silver Scene hit us up a few months ago and was like, hey, we want to do Europe? And we were like, hell yeah. So
Nice.
Yeah. No, it's going to be probably about, 2.5 weeks? 2.5 weeks.
Nice length.
And that'll be our first, kind of club tour with this record, because we were over there in the summer, but there it's mostly festivals on the weekends and some really small club shows in between during
Yeah,
the week.
kind of like fill the travel
Yeah.
days type thing. Yeah,
Exactly. And there's a million bands competing for
those shows.
yeah, so within a 50-kilometer radius, there could very easily be 3 or 4 shows happening with bands everybody's heard of in the summer. So yeah, this will be a little more focused club tour stuff.
Awesome.
So
That's sick. So I guess you guys are from Winnipeg, which is amazing. Like you're a local to us, and you're one of our favorite bands. And we were talking about how Winnipeg has a really rich kind of punk history, and Canada does too. Why do you think that is?
I have no idea.
I have no idea, because it seems like there's something going on.
I have theories, but I don't know if they're. I don't know. My go-to answer for that, I get asked that every now and then because it's true. So someone in Europe would be like, "So Winnipeg, why?"
And we're all just like, "There's nothing else to do, I guess."
That's kind of the answer. It's especially there's mosquitoes in the summer. They haven't been as bad in the last decade, but the mosquitoes in the summer and harsh winters in the winter.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody's in the basement making music, I think. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Everyone just kind of plucks away, because you don't want to go outside. And then when everybody can, they have all these ideas and they're getting together and playing shows. There's a ton of local shows going on all the time when it's nice enough to permit it. So yeah, it's just a city, I think, where people really appreciate it.
Yep.
When they can. Yeah.
Yep.
What was your first rig? What was your first guitar rig?
First real guitar rig or first?
No, just anything. My first one was I think it was a PV Rage and a Fender with 2 single coil pickups, which was a great mix.
Oh yeah, but I'm not even familiar with that.
Yeah, it's a little solid state PV 10-inch amp.
Right.
Classic. Just sounds like a bag of bees, but did the job.
Now I think the first thing that I would have used would have been my dad's bass amp and his I came from a very strict background. Rock and roll was not encouraged. So when they were gone at Bible study and I could do whatever I wanted,
Nice.
I would take the bass and just basically play these 2 strings and just create just crank it so there'd be some kind of distortion. So that was my first rig.
Nice.
But I was pretty bent on getting a rectifier.
Yeah.
So I think in 95 or 96, I purchased my first, I just bought a $200 cab off of the classifieds, but yeah, rectifier.
Yeah, and that was actually what I was going to ask next. It's what do you kind of look for in an amp? Yeah, literally the triple here. There's a dual somewhere. I don't know if we have a single kicking around somewhere, but
yeah, I had to get the triple because it was go big or go home. The dual would have been fine. They didn't have singles back then.
Derek that was his go-to as well, and I guess I was going to ask for what do you look for sonically in an amp? But I guess you were into the rectifier sound, the really throaty, kind of thick.
I want a Judd. I want that saturated. Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Just thick, clarity, but
yeah,
tons of low end and all that.
It has to all be there.
Absolutely. Yeah. When did you? I guess we know it's through Dorian, but when did you first try out a Revv, one of our amps?
In the studio.
Oh, I guess it might not have been then. Yeah, it must have been at JP's
Was there a
place.
time before that?
No, I was thinking it was through Dorian, but I guess it must have been at JP's when you were doing heavy steps.
That's my first recollection. We went into the studio. Wow, COVID messed with my brain. When was that?
Time warp.
Yeah.
Man, probably at least a few years ago. A couple years ago.
It would have been about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think around March, right? March, April last year.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I know.
I messed up.
2019 to 2021.
Yeah.
It's like the Men in Black guys with the little things.
Everything's
gone.
just kind of blurred together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was Derek maybe that dropped one off at the studio.
Yeah.
I think JP said. And I just went into Studio B and just set up my rectifier, like while we were tracking drums. I just set up my rectifier with one of these and then 2 cabs and just spent probably about 4 or 5 hours just like going back and forth trying,
Everything.
Get it close, get it, see what else can I do?
Yeah.
And I was sold. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And it wasn't like, oh, this company wants to da-da-da-da, so therefore no, it was like, I'm genuinely like, I can move on from the rectifier now, which,
awesome.
Which is crazy after 25 years.
Well, I mean, I think, like Dan and Derek both are guys that liked rectifiers, but there were obviously certain things about them that were difficult at times, like having to boost it and stuff like that. So it's not like Revv is like based on anything, but I think we definitely appreciate that sound. So that might be, why it translated. But
You're always going to borrow from influences, right?
Absolutely,
So,
yeah. Musically and everything else. But
definitely music.
How'd you say it compared to what you would use? Like, what was your first kind of thought on it? It was the 120, right? Generator 120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a rectifier, but it did everything. I got everything. How do you explain that? Like, I got everything I wanted out of it, but it wasn't like a carbon copy of the same sound. Like, I wasn't getting the exact same tone out of it as I would. Because it's funny, because now after playing these, like when we're in North America, we play a lot of these, or we're playing these, and then when we fly out to do like a festival or something like that, they'll have the rectifier, and I'm like, oh yeah, the old tone. I love it, but it's different.
It's different, yeah.
And it's like, it's kind of like choosing between your children. Like, which one do I like better? I would love to say I love the Revv better, but at the same time, it's like when we're in that pinch and we need an amp, it's
Rectifier
like
will do the
the
trick for you.
rectifier's there, and
old reliable
it's
kind of thing.
Exactly.
For sure. That is awesome. So I guess, you were just saying it's been like a year and a half. Has it been more than a year since Heavy Steps came out? No, not quite.
It came out this year in January.
It's definitely still been like one of our favorite albums of the last year, for sure. How was it, I guess, different than recording your other records? Because sonically it sounds huge. Like, it sounds massive.
Yes.
And I'm not attributing that to this at all, but just like the whole everything just sounds huge.
And you know what? I can actually attribute it. Get this. Okay. So we're in the studio. I did what I told you, like 4, 5, 6 hours. I was just doing the thing. And I'm going to throw Stu under the bus just a little bit. So, and I was like, Stu. And he was like, he wasn't feeling it. But I think it came down to, we are searching out for 2 different kinds of sounds. Like, he's more of a, likes that Marshall rock and roll kind of sound, even though he's also a rectifier guy.
Yeah.
I'm a little more, I wouldn't say gent, but like, I want a little more of that.
You like the more kind of like compressed, like hi-fi gain.
I want that, And so that's what I had to, so he wasn't like super keen on it. And so when we were tracking, we weren't like I can't even remember. Like, I know we had one of Dorian's heads there, 2 actually, but I think we used the Soldano a lot. We used the JCM 800, the rectifier, but of course, we got the clean tone as well.
Send it to, it was Will who did it, and
so we sent everything to Will to mix.
Yeah.
And then he's sending us different things, and guess what we settled on? The Revv.
There you go.
That he dialed in.
Blind test.
It all came right back here.
Full circle. That's sweet, man. That's so cool to hear.
And his like the way he mixes things, like, he got that bottom end that I felt had kind of been missing from every other record that we have. Because I like the way every record sounds, but I was always kind of wanting a bit of that.
His records have that for sure. Like, I was just listening to the new Counterparts record, which is just like same thing, just massive. Yeah, just huge tones.
Yeah,
like massive bottom end, but like still tight and like,
exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
So he nailed it.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy to say the reamp stuff, that's Revv.
Awesome.
And we didn't.
You heard it here, folks.
And here's the crazy part: we didn't push for that at all. It was like he just sent us things and then told us what they were, and we weren't deciding based on like, you know, because
Yeah.
you know,
You want to pick with your ears.
we weren't married to Revv at that point. You know, it was like I love the idea of it, but it's like he got the best tones out of that.
That's
He
so
reamped
cool.
it. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Man. Really glad to hear that.
True story.
True story. True facts. You heard it here first. Any favorite riffs off that record? Any favorite tunes?
I can't play shit though.
Well, that's okay.
Still learning
It's
how to play
hardcore.
guitar.
Just big, meaty tones. We're good.
I'm doing that way too fast. Heavy steps on hollow ground. Okay, I'm a geek.
Oh, that was the best. Awesome. Quickly, I guess the last question I'll go here. You still like using, like you like boosting, and I guess that might have come from using the rectifier and having to boost it.
Might be a bad habit. I don't know. I might
No,
be able to clean up my pedal board.
But different gain stages, like you get more out of it, right? Like it just adds a different element to your sound. So you still enjoy using pedals as well?
Yeah. I kind of just carried everything my whole extensive pedal board. I just carried everything over.
Yeah,
So
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I've often told people is like I don't have a space in my house to like set up. Like we're pretty tight, 2 kids, you know, so I don't have a room, which I would love to have. And I still think I have a lot of exploring to do with this and probably other pedals, like especially some of the Revv pedals.
For sure.
You know,
Yeah, well, definitely.
there's things.
I know
that can
someone
happen.
who can get you some. To
Yeah.
Try. Yeah.
I like that.
Awesome. All right. Thanks a lot for taking the time to do this with us, man. We really, really appreciate it.
Happy to do it.
Everybody, if you're in Europe, go check out Comeback Kid on their upcoming tour. And if
Please.
not, keep an eye out for more upcoming shows, maybe. I don't know. Perhaps.
We tour
You
we
guys
tour
play a
everywhere,
lot, so
yeah.
keep your eyes out. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone.